BIS, Brazilian International School, and our presentation is about to commence. Good afternoon, and welcome to our forum. With me here are the students representing the Republic of South Africa in this 2022 United Nations Forum of the Unexplained. My name is Isabella, and I'll be the mediator of this incredible event. Today's guests have been selected to take part in this convention due to their interests and extended knowledge of history and geography, philosophy and psychology, Bruna, for being a connoisseur when it comes to South Africa,
Camargo,
for his many trips around the world,
Yo, I'm Gabriel.
and finally, for her enthusiasm about mysteries.
Carmelo.
Our audience can trust this forum to provide you with a rich assortment of knowledge from the perspective of many academic fields and social standpoints. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen engaged in this forum, that our aim is to exchange ideas. Thus, there is no right or wrong, merely diverging opinions. Now, please, Ms. Camargo, introduce us to the marvels of South Africa and tell us all of its secrets.
I'm convinced we should tell the audience first that this country is not only located in the African continent, but it's also a regional leader and a member of the BRICS, the emerging countries. Oh, and there's a funny fact too. This white space here is an independent country called Lesotho, which is completely surrounded by the South African territory. Isn't it amazing?
Indeed. Its 9 provinces hide a great amount of natural beauty to be appreciated, incredible safari tours to be enjoyed, amazing museums with lots of history to be learned, and extreme sports to be experimented.
Not to mention a bunch of ghosts and haunted places that could make anyone's skin crawl.
Fascinating. I've never been there, but I've always heard great things about the country. What's the best season to visit?
Well, if you're traveling in a shoestring but you still want to make most of it, winter means the lower prices, fewer mosquitoes, and as it's a drier period of the year, it's easier to watch animals gathering around water holes.
Despite my interest in South Africa's wildlife, my focus always falls on psychology and philosophy. Where can I learn more about its tumultuous history and culture?
Oh, so many places. You can visit museums, make a trip to Robben Island, or even a visit to a township. Robben Island was once home to a maximum security prison facility, but later it became an important site. It was even designated a World Heritage Site in 1999.
Wow, the island itself is now a museum? That's impressive. I know Nelson Mandela was incarcerated there, and by the way, what is a township like? I know their peak of popularity came in the apartheid times, when non-white people were forced to leave their houses and move to these undeveloped areas in the outskirts.
You must visit. They immerse visitors into the authentic African experience in a memorable way.
Talking about apartheid, an important place to visit, which honors freedom fighter Nelson Mandela, is the Apartheid Museum. It is located in Soweto, a township near the city of Johannesburg. Am I right, Mrs. Camargo?
Precisely. The museum reopened back in April this year, so check out their Instagram. The place is incredible in all aspects.
That is something one must not miss. But what about the country's fauna and flora? I would love to check the wildlife.
Oh my. Wildlife in South Africa is abundant and mesmerizing. Kruger National Park is one of the world's greatest wildlife watching destinations. If you have the time, take a tour which includes the Sunrise Safari. It's $120 and worth each penny.
Nothing could go wrong with this combination between wildlife and extreme sports. Bear in mind that summer is a great time for kite surfing. On the other hand, for surfing, diving, whale watching, winter is a much better time. Upper swimming with penguins in Boulders Beach, you can. It goes without saying that the Table Mountain is a great place for hiking. And if you're not so brave, you can catch a cable car.
Definitely the cable car for me. You know, I've been wondering if there are any mysteries to be told. I mean, something mind-boggling.
As a matter of fact, there are thousands of mysteries and paranormal activities. Each one gives you a little insight into South Africa's history, social features, and folklore.
The country's immense coastal area makes it very likely for one to find offshore ghosts from those who attempted to sail around the Cape of Good Hope.
One of them is the captain of the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, but this is a story for another time. Today I want to introduce you to one of the world's most haunted castles, the South African Castle of Good Hope. One of the notorious deceased is Governor Pieter van Noot.
Yeah, in my opinion, the castle looks beautiful, but a bit pedestrian.
I wouldn't be so sure. People have reported hearing unexplainable sounds of footsteps, followed by sight of a floating, legless human figure. Some of the guards working at the venue have also claimed they've heard cries for help coming from the dungeons and torture chambers in the underground levels of the facility. Anyway, let me introduce you to the story behind it, and you'll be able to draw your own conclusions.
Locals tell us that the turmoil started when 4 soldiers were tried and sentenced to a death penalty by Governor Van Noot. Everyone thought that the punishment was far too harsh, but Noot's resolution would not be moved.
Very well. And as the last convict was being led forward to be hanged, he put a hex on Governor Van Noot and challenged him to appear before God and answer for his deeds. When the officer showed up to inform the governor that his sentence had been carried out, they found him dead on his chair. The corpse displayed an expression of fear on its face, and it is said that his ghost is still roused the castle at night.
It doesn't seem like a mystery to me. Apparently, the governor died from a heart attack. The contorted expression on his face is due to the severe pain on the chest. It's a simple explanation.
Ah, come on, that's too simplistic. How would you explain a haunted scene by hundreds of people?
Well, people love such spooky stories of spectral phantoms. Although there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of ghosts, research does provide plenty of explanation for why we might generally sense a supernatural presence.
Exactly. When experiencing a hallucination, our first instinct is to trust our senses.
Are you saying that many people experience similar hallucinations?
Yes, old and big castles may be full of shadows. This makes it easy for people to be fully convinced that they see unearthly things.
Also, the current of the wind bumping towards the building might create the most numerous noises and whistles. Anyhow, my idea is to present my point of view, and not to convince anyone. Besides, even if I don't believe in ghosts, the place seems worth a visit.
Yeah, but if you still look through some walls and small corridors, you might find some places that look extremely dark and creepy. But you're right, the building's a treasure for itself. Plus, the Table Mountain View is absolutely unparalleled.
Great, fellas. I think you told us enough about mysteries and a lot about tourist attractions. And for that, I cannot thank you enough.
South Africa is first on my ought-to-visit list of mysterious countries. I can't believe I've never been there. I consider South Africa to be one of my favorite countries, presented in the 2022 United Nations Forum of the Unexplained Convention.
I couldn't agree more. With its dazzling fauna, comprising from penguins to safari animals, beautiful landscapes, rich culture and history, and even haunted historical castles, South Africa undoubtedly has all it takes to catch our eyes.
As I've told you from the beginning, that it does indeed.
It's unfortunate that our time is over. It's been such a pleasure learning from you today. So thank you, students, for your participation, and thank you for your attention.